All right, I am pleased to be here with Jeff Scott. Jeff is our, in addition to being a past chairman of the AED, is the current chair of the AED Foundation. Jeff, tell us a little bit about how your dealership has managed with the current COVID crisis.
Well, thanks, Brian, and welcome to Salt Lake City. You know, it's been an interesting 6 months, I'd imagine, for all of us. And I look back in that first month, I'm sure the association, some of the calls that we had as an executive committee, we were just, you know, it was the end of the world, and we thought the bottom was going to fall out. I'm very happy to report here in our dealerships, we've weathered the storm. That first month or 6 weeks was difficult. We're like a lot of dealers. We were able to get our PPP funding and preserve our employee base, and really that got us into the beginning of end of second quarter into the third quarter. And surprisingly, here we've stayed an essential business here in Utah. We've seen a big growth and boom in not only our rental but our sales and our product support, because people were out doing. So we feel much better now than we did 6 months ago. And we project going into the end of this year that we'll see more growth here in Utah because of the housing boom. We're anticipating that we'll see some infrastructure funding. So what looked like a end of the world 6 months ago we're a lot better place today.
Well, let's talk about your role as chairman of the AED Foundation. I know that the push for technicians and the need for technicians in dealerships has not gone away. What are some of the things the foundation is doing to address that?
You know, in fact, Brian, it's interesting because the need and demand now for technicians is greater than ever, and maybe because of coming out of this COVID period, because all of our dealerships are expanding and growing our product support side. And I think most of you are aware we have a very aggressive vision for the foundation. We call it 2024, although we're thinking about an extra year on it because this year has been a bit in limbo. But nevertheless, one of our goals is 100 more certified diesel tech programs throughout the United States and North America, for that matter, including Canada. And so we've, as a board, have thought a lot about it in conjunction with the AED staff of upping our funding, and really I'll just call it philanthropy, because the fact that on the foundation side, I've always liked the foundation because we're not dues and member driven. We're actually donation and what we call investor driven. And so we've commissioned a philanthropic firm to really look at how we can expand, and certainly we'll need it in our Vision 2024, just in workforce, technicians, and these certification programs. We're going to come out with you'll see it here as we get into the spring, and our summit is a very lofty goal of funding for the foundation in these years to come, so we can arrive at our 2024 vision.
That's great. Now, the foundation has also kind of taken the lead on the diversity question within the industry, and why is that question kind of fallen into the foundation's arena?
Correct. And another good question. You know, as we all try to conduct our businesses, and we've been through this health pandemic, we've also seen a lot of social unrest, and I think along with that, it's brought to our attention very specifically to our industry the need to expand diversity within our workforce. And I always think, as the foundation, one of our main goals is education and certainly workforce and workforce services. So as chair this year, in discussion with AED, have agreed to take on this idea of expanding research and education into this subject of diversity, and how we as dealers can increase our diversity, not only through our employee base, possibly our customer base, and I just think even in the industry at large as OEMs, that we get more diverse dealer participation across the country. And I think that the timing's right. Along with workforce, I think that we're going to see a lot of people through this COVID who are going to come out of it, and the jobs they once had before this period of this pandemic will no longer be there. So it's even more emphasis on increasing technician recruitment through the high schools and through technician programs, and for that matter, really most positions in our dealerships. And this idea of a broader base and diversity of potential employees out there plays right into this issue.
And so, so the way you see it is the diversity issue is really an economic workforce issue. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, absolutely. You know, I think that we in our business we have a people, products, and performance, and our first part is people. You know, we can do nothing as dealers without people, and it's really those people that fill the coffer and drive the economic engine. And so, yes, I think that as we see this retraining and workforce and diversity, all those components coming together certainly are going to increase the doers and the people in our dealerships that are driving the goods and services, quite frankly, for our customers out there. And talk about economics, that's trickle down, right? Then we all, the OEM produces the goods and services, we as distributors provide those goods and services, and we have customers that go out and build and make things, and there's an economic benefit throughout that.
And I understand the foundation has commissioned a study to look at how we reach those diverse populations, as well as what barriers there might be for diversity in ownership of dealerships. When will we see that stuff?
Well, we've gone ahead and commissioned a study with a renowned expert in that world diversity. So we've commissioned a national expert on this world of diversity, and this research project, we give them preliminary okay to begin the research, and that we will see that report and publish it, and it'll be at our new summit date, which is in Las Vegas in March of 2021.
That's correct. Those dates, March 29th to the 31st in Vegas. The foundation will be there. You'll be there.
Absolutely.
We hope all the AD members will join us in Vegas. Thanks for taking time to visit with us, Jeff.
Thanks, Brian.